me. Um, this place is called Maple Leaf. It is one of the dominant animal agricultural forces here in Canada and abroad. This place in particular kills 250,000 birds a day. 250,000 birds a day. I believe it's probably like close to 2 or 3 birds per second. So I told you guys I was going to stop by this place earlier. Let me know how the stream is, if you can hear me. We're kind of in an isolated spot. This facility decided to choose indigenous land. And the place is massive. I can't even explain how big it is. This place, the goal of it is to kill up to 1 million innocent sentient beings, baby birds. So they're all baby birds, guys. When you're eating a chicken, you're eating a baby bird. This company claims to be net zero, from what I heard from some insiders. Net zero, if you can believe that. So brand new facility off the taxpayer dollars. This company used to be spread out across multiple locations all over Ontario. And so what they do in these situations is they shut down all the small locations and they bring them into a bigger location. So that way they can kill more birds, but most importantly, they can drop all the employees' benefits. They'll drop all their vacation times. They'll essentially say, hey, we got a job for you in another city, but you have to come and work for minimum wage. So if you can believe, and it's so hard to show because of where it's located, very strategically placed. I can't even go, like the trees in the way. I can't even go to see to show you how big this is. If you guys want to look on your Google Maps, it's London, Ontario. It's Maple Leaf Foods.inc. And yes, they kill 250,000 birds every single day. I believe it's more than that. I think that's just what's reported. And guess what? The subsidies, guys, the subsidies are crazy. The government of Ontario, Canada, has given this company on multiple occasions subsidies so they can open up new facilities. But the thing is, they closed down. They closed down all these other facilities, claiming that they have new jobs in this new city. The issue is obviously you're taking sentient beings' lives, and people have to see that shit and be a part of it, and increase violent crime rates and drug addiction and stuff like this. The birds here, they're put into gas chambers. Can you imagine? They're put into gas chambers. That's their fate. They're 6 weeks old when they're put into these facilities. All the animals, the chickens, the cows, the pigs, generally, all of the animals that you eat for your food are actually genetically engineered through a process of so many years to grow as massive as possible. So these baby birds would be the equivalent of 250-pound human being at the same age, at 6 weeks just of age. So people might not know I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. I used to work for the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. And yeah, I saw horrible things. The way people treat animals, the way they're transported. It is freezing today. We saw one truck leave. This place is so strategically placed that we can't even get a look. Like I can't even get a close look unless I'm going to go on their property, which it's really difficult to get onto because it's just so far in this indigenous land, indigenous waterways that they were managed to be able to convince the cowardly city of London, Ontario to allow this to happen, if you can believe that. So I'm just trying to get the flags here and show you the Maple Leaf flag proudly displayed here. And what I mean by Maple Leaf, I mean the Maple Leaf food conglomerate that kills innocent baby birds every single day, 250,000 of them. Guys, please hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends. I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. I'm whistleblowing on the whole industry because this whole industry is an abomination and it needs to be shut down. It's disgusting. These birds live in their filth. They live in their urine. They live in their feces. They're brought into places like this. And in this type of weather, they're chopped up. They're put into chlorine baths. They're sprayed with chemicals. So apparently you won't contract pathogens. And you eat that. You eat that shit. It's crazy. So again, I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. I work for the Canadian government for many years. And places like this, if they ever are out of compliance, which means more dead birds arrived on these trucks, then like they go by a certain percentage. The percentage is like maybe 2% or 1% or 0.5%. So that's hundreds of birds. It's not each and every single individual bird. So there's a threshold of allowable birds that are allowed to freeze to death on a day that's so cold like today. They're allowed to freeze to death and nothing is done about it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So can you imagine if your head was stuck out the window, and we are in London, Ontario, Canada right now, if your head was stuck out the window when it's minus, what is it, minus 10 today, minus 5 today, maybe it's getting up to minus 10. Nobody gives a shit about these birds. Yet these farmers talk about, we love our animals, we treat them kind. Yet this industry promotes net zero and that we treat our animals with the most utmost respect. Canada has some of the worst transportation laws in the world, if not the worst transportation laws. I've seen it where these poor hens, the poor chickens, their heads are frozen to crates. They're frozen to death. Some are still alive. Their body parts are frozen to crates in their own urine and feces that's frozen to these fucking crates. And this is somehow acceptable in our communities, which I don't agree. It should not be acceptable. It's abhorrent. It's absolutely disgusting. This company stole $10 million to open up this business. They fired all these people across different cities so they could open a megaplex. And they already own property for the next megaplex. So they can shut this place down after they've given the workers PTSD and trauma from working in these places, after they've used up the indigenous land so they can make their profits. They're going to move to another city. And we've already been to that spot. We know where the land is. They're forecasting this. They're actually forecasting this to move forward with. So it's kind of crazy. So once again, we are in London, Ontario, Canada. Guys, if you are vegan, please do me a favor, hit one in the stream. If you are somebody considering changing who doesn't want to eat 6-week-old babies anymore, I thought about this change for a little bit, please hit 2. If you're someone who just doesn't care, hit whatever you want, 3 or whatever other button you want to hit. Also smash the like button just to let us know who you are in the chat. So I want to thank Adrian, Martin, Jason, Mel and Steve, Matthew. I'm sure I'm probably missing a few. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the earlier stream where we were at a hospital. That's great, keeping score. We were at a hospital and they were testing on animals there. And so there's one of the trucks there. Sorry, guys, I got to switch this around, actually. There's one of the trucks there. You can imagine. So it's a very sneaky process. They have this long, stretchy road that's considered their property, and you can't even get onto it. And there's no set of lights, so you can't even stop there, and it's dangerous to like even stand over there. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So thank you guys for the ones who selected 2. We can move away from this. I'm vegan for 12 years. Actually, the animal rights activists that I'm with today, they are 30 plus years, 35 years vegan. And from what we know today, we can live healthy and fine on a plant-based diet. Most importantly, though, we got to stop viewing animals as commodities, as things for us. They are here with us. Again, we were at St. Joe's Hospital in London, Ontario as well, where they were testing on dogs and other animals, and they made a commitment to stop testing on the dogs. But upon follow-up, they wouldn't disclose the information on 2 dogs. So we went back there today in full force by someone named Kenzie. If you go back to my other stream, you'll be able to see who that was. Incredible job. Saw what took place, saw that these dogs are being tested on in the hospital in her backyard, and she said no. She said that's not acceptable. So she created an event, brought all these people all across to this event today. You can see that on the last stream. So we were in the neighborhood, and I really want to expose this place. Unfortunately, this is about as close as I can get to exposing Maple Leaf, the massive giant that kills 90 billion, or sorry, what is it? It goes 90 million. I think it was 90 million. I'm gonna double check my stats here. 250. What is it? 250,000 a day. Yeah, 250,000 a day. So whatever you extrapolate that to, I think it was something like, yeah, 90 million a year. Crazy. And exactly. So you talk about that vegan anthem, reduce pandemics, avian influenza, literally in cows. Humans who contract avian influenza are in some cases, at a 50% death rate. Can you imagine? And there's one of the trucks here. Can you imagine? That's definitely, yeah, that's a full truck of poor little chickens. And then there's another one off in the distance. I don't know if you could see it. Yeah, we just missed it. Can you imagine if you contracted that? Can you imagine if it's a 50% death rate contracting avian influenza? How would you feel, feeding your children that, or them contracting that for totally optional products when you can swap that out very easily? You look at the environmental degradation. Literally, like this phone is pointing at indigenous land, which this company made the city and influenced the city to allow them to build here on indigenous property. If you can imagine that, how crazy is that? Um, well, of course, I'm going to respond to pro-vegan comments because I'm vegan. I used to work in slaughterhouses. I'm an ex-slaughterhouse inspector, and I evolved. I found out that we didn't have to eat animals. So why the fuck would I do that to innocent little baby birds? Go work in a slaughterhouse for 5 minutes and get back to me. Or go out to the farmers' fields, and you can just open up their dumpsters. Of course, do that on the public land because those dumpsters are on the public land. And you can see all the little dead bodies inside. We've created environments for psychopaths to thrive in these small local scale farms that nobody's policing or watching, quite literally thumping. They call it thumping. They have to use all these words. It's literally bashing a baby pig's head against the ground. You wouldn't even imagine how many chickens die in the ammonia-filled sheds on their backs because they're genetically engineered. They're warped. Their legs grow so fast, or another body part grows so fast, they can't even carry their own body weight. They can't even make it to their water that's filled with antibiotics and drugs. They can't even make it to their little water soup. And people are paying for that shit. And they're accepting that, that's okay to get, to bring into society. I think it's either 1 in 4 or 1 in 6 Americans will contract pathogen, E. coli, salmonella, campylobacter, and that's due to our food system. I think it's 1 in 6 as well in Canada. Probably extrapolates across the world. Millions and millions and millions contract these pathogens, which can affect your central nervous system, which can affect the rest of your life, put you at a reduced lifespan. And again, this is all like selfish stuff, right? This is all me, me, me. But you can literally move away from this. Oh my God, that truck just smelled so bad that went by. You can move away from this and not risk your family, your friends, your livelihood. Again, 250,000 a day doesn't sound as catchy. Oh, it's Casino. Casino, welcome back, Casino. You're always trolling here. boosting the algorithm with your dumb comments. I can't imagine how dumb you are to say some of the things you say. Yeah, guys, once again, hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends. We are going to be back at it. Guess what? Again tomorrow, guys. I am not stopping. I think we need to get out there and fight and defend the animals. They don't have a voice. They don't have a voice in this fight. So we need to defend them. We need to help them out. This is Maple Leaf Foods. They killed 250,000 baby birds every single day for their fucking boats, their yachts, their stockholder meetings, whatever the hell it is, their bigger cars, their bigger trucks, their jacuzzis, and people buy into it. They literally use workers in here, marginalized communities, as machines. They use them to work on these high line speeds, suffer carpal tunnel, musculoskeletal disorders, all these things. Also, stockholders can get their yearly end, bonus or whatever the fuck it is, whatever people value in money. These corporations just rip people off, and it's wild because people are like, "Oh, the cost of living is so high." Well, how do you think it is when people are contracting pathogens? They're going to the hospital. That costs on the healthcare system. The workers suffer from PTSD, turn to drugs, alcohol abuse. They're getting workplace injuries. They're cutting off limbs. They're sitting on knives. Their hands are getting caught in machinery. All these things are happening, and that's happening in front of people, and this is somehow normalized. Crazy fucking mad, insane mad, and people wonder, well, oh, the cost of living is so much, and let alone Maple Leaf was given how many billions of dollars or how many millions of dollars to open places like this by taxpayers. I mean, as if they didn't already make enough. $1 billion company, uh, like taking literally taxpayers' money so they can add a little bit to their slush fund. It's crazy. And not only that, they get subsidies as well to lower prices. That way people buy their product. When we can move those subsidies to plant-based alternatives, maddening. Absolutely freaking maddening. Yeah, well, flakery. So, we could reduce our land input by 75%. Currently, we use 83% of our agricultural land to farm animals. It just doesn't make sense. So all the plants and the farming, the crops that are given to the animals, you cut out the middleman, and you could probably almost feed 2 planets worth of people. It's ridiculous that we don't move our farming system into something else. Yeah, well, exactly. Well, lions do eat their baby. They do eat babies. They do lick their own junk. We don't base our morality on what lions do. If we did, we live in a pretty chaotic society. I think Casino's repeating himself. Once again, his think box is broken. I think he probably didn't even realize he said that. See, that's what cholesterol does to you guys. Increased cholesterol raises your risk of all-cause mortality. And Casino seems to have increased his risk dramatically. The fact that he's saying the same thing over and over. Guys, hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell because we're going to be live once again tomorrow. There's going to be a lot more to see, more visual stimulation, that's for sure. We're going to be at maybe 1 or 2 events. I haven't decided, but we'll definitely be live tomorrow, and you guys can check that out. Hey, Martin. And guys, thank you so much for being here. Let's get a couple more likes. And guys, tell me, are you vegan? If you are, select 1. If you're somebody thinking about change, select 2. If you are not someone in those categories at all, smash the screen. And also, that's it. Just smash the screen. I didn't say 3. I didn't say 3. See, he's already jumping it. He's already jumping it. Yeah, yeah. Right. That's funny. Vegan Stoner Lady, thanks for being here. You guys are great. You guys are here all day today, earlier as well. Guys, so once again, this place kills 250,000 baby birds a day. Baby birds that live in sheds just for 6 weeks. They are genetically engineered. All the animals you eat are genetically modified, genetically engineered, and they're basically Frankenstein babies. A ton of them are going to have dermatitis. A lot of them are going to have cellulitis, peritonitis, urticulitis. A lot of these diseases. Okay, you can just Google uh, the diseases that these chickens have. Right, you can look for it and see for yourself. Um, Not to mention pathogens like E. coli, Salmonella, Campylobacter. They're sprayed with chemicals to try to kill the pathogens, microbiological chemicals to try to kill the pathogens. And from that, which is wild, they'll be put into a chlorine bath. Then their bodies will be chopped up. You know, you have employees that are cutting over these bodies in the wintertime. You know, often people get sick. So they'll be coughing and sneezing. Sure, they'll be wearing masks and PPE equipment, but you know how that shit kind of leaks through. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And then also, if you didn't know, the inspector jobs are just token positions. Literally, an inspector will walk down on a floor once in a while just to take a look around, see what's happening. But really, you know, it's just a token position. Guys, you should know more about your food system. What I'm calling on these slaughterhouses to do is to open up transparency, allow animal rights groups to go into their farms, go into the slaughterhouses and show the world, because we think the world is adult enough to know what they do with their food system. We think people should know. The people should absolutely know what happens, what takes place. Transparency is key. These places talk about humane and ethical and local and all these buzzwords. Well, if they're so transparent, if they're so good, let us go in. All we're going to do is put a phone to it and show the world what takes place. That's it. And if you guys are interested to do something similar like what I'm doing right now, we are doing something called Project Livestream. That's going to happen next Friday. Next Friday, we encourage you to get active and involved. Hit that like button while you're at it. We're encouraging you to get active and involved and join us for Project Livestream next week. We will help you get the 50 subs to go live. We're going to be at slaughterhouses all over the world, just like this one, and we're going to be exposing this disgusting, despicable industry for what it is as we continue to grow our movement. And we are going to shut these places down one way or another. These places are going to be shut down. These hellhole facilities that kill innocent baby animals. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Please remember to hit like and hit subscribe. Alpha Girl B12, I think it was. Alpha Girl B12, I think that's the name. Thank you so much. You win the contest for being the first to comment on my last live stream. Guys, if you want to win the championship and get me to shout you out the next live stream, be the first to comment back on this. This live stream is going to end right now. I want to thank you guys all so much for being here. We got another event to go to. Turn on the notification bell because I'm going to be live tomorrow, and you guys can see what else is going on in the animal abuse torture industry and what that we need to move away from. Again, thank you so much for being here. Much love.